Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm continuing my analysis of the SEC championship game, and today I'm going to focus on some of the things that the Alabama defense did well into Georgia. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So we have the first quarter here, 2 minutes and 24 seconds left. It's 3rd and 2 for Georgia, and Georgia tried to do this thing throughout the game where they tried to stretch Alabama to the sides on running plays and tried to get wide. And over again, Alabama defense answered the call here, and they stopped it. And this is another example of that, at least early on in the game, where you see. So we have Georgia here in the shotgun. They have Carson Beck with the running back number 30 set to his left, and you have the Alabama defense kind of with 5 people basically on the line of scrimmage, 2 linebackers behind, running pretty much like a nickel concept here. And Georgia kind of has a little trips formation stacked close to the left side of the line of scrimmage. And what they're basically going to do is snap the ball and pitch it to the running back. But watch what happens. 6 Alabama defenders are following the Georgia running back to the sideline. So Georgia tried to get that pitch out there, but then you see Tresman Marshall at linebacker come up and like demolish the center here. Like it just kind of throws him out of the way a little bit as he gets up some penetration up to the middle. And then you have the Dallas Turner take on the left tackle as he tries to get out to the side, but Dallas Turner gets the outside leverage on the left tackle. Caleb Downs diagnoses the play from his safety position very fast and shoots through the gap that the running back is trying to stretch his way into. So he ends up making the running back stop and cut slightly back inside. But by that time, Tresman Marshall's catching up and Dallas Turner is getting ready to be there. And Deontay Lawson is even running around over the top of that. And if you probably didn't notice, Kool-Aid McKinstry actually takes on the block of Brock Bowers and actually gets outside. And he comes up to the kept set the edge along with Malachi Moore. So the Alabama defense in general has 6 guys over here play this stretch play to the outside almost perfectly here and get a stop for a loss on this play where Georgia thought they could maybe get some effect. And I think what was interesting is that Georgia didn't try running up the middle more. I think they just, for some reason, they conceded that maybe they couldn't run up the middle in Alabama, but when they tried to do the outside, it just did not work. And so I was really curious about that. So let's go on to the next play. We're actually going to see Alabama get some pressure on Carson Beck on this play. This is the second quarter, 5 minutes and 38 seconds left. It's 3rd and 12, so it's an obvious passing situation. The Alabama defense knows this. Georgia is running 4 wide, but really it's like 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end. Running back set to the right of Carson Beck in the shotgun. The tight end, Brock Bowers, is out in kind of that stacked formation with McConkey. So it's 19 and 84, 2 guys who are fairly injured. And so what you're going to see here is that Alabama's basically on a rush 4. They're only going to rush 4 people here. Deontay Lawson looks like he's going to rush, but Deontay Lawson is actually playing the running back on this play, and he kind of follows him out to the backfield in the flat. But the 4 people that rush are, you got like Dallas Turner coming up here on the left tackle, and you got Bradshaw down here on the right tackle. But Dallas Turner just basically does a bull rush on the Georgia left tackle number 71, runs right into him and pushes him. Just straight up pushes him into the backfield, like straight toward Carson Beck. That's a big man being moved by Alabama's Dallas Turner. Like that is probably going to be why he's going to be a first-round draft pick. Like that type of play, that type of athleticism, being able to do that type of thing, just pushes the guy in front of him. And then you also have the 2 defensive linemen in the middle, kind of keeping the pocket corralled. There's no open space for Carson Beck to get into. And of course, you have Bradshaw down here on the right tackle, making sure that Carson Beck can't get to the outside as well. So this is all leading up to then Dallas Turner being able to just rush right into the guy that had really great gap integrity while rushing the passer. Carson Beck had nowhere to go. If Deontay Lawson had decided to just run up the field and try to pressure Carson Beck as well, he probably would have thrown it out to the running back in the flat, but he did a great job of playing discipline and playing his assignment, and that allowed Dallas Turner to just use his amazing athleticism to destroy Carson Beck on this play. Also, I just realized I was saying Bradshaw, and I meant to say Braswell. I just been like having trouble saying people's names lately on the field, and so forgive me for that one. But it's Braswell, number 41, who was on the right tackle of Georgia. But really good defense by Alabama overall. Now we're gonna go on to the next one here, and we have second quarter. It's actually a little bit before the last play, but it's the second quarter, 6 minutes, 19 seconds left, 2nd and 10. So really, it's basically the play before the last play. I just kind of want to do like a switch up of like, hey, here's a running play where they're stopping, here's a pass rush, here's a run. So I'm just going to come back to a run here. And Georgia is kind of running they're going to try to get wide again. So they're trying to do a stretch play, and the Alabama linebacker does a good job of like tracking it down once again. So Georgia has 2 tight ends on the field. So this is basically 12 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. The 2 wide receivers are set to the bottom of the screen. The tight end is set to the left of Carson Beck, and another tight end is playing H-back near the right tackle. Alabama's basically going to match this 12 personnel by running nickel here. They're actually going to have just one more DB on the field. So they got Malachi Moore, they have Caleb Downs, they have Terion Arnold, and they have Kool-Aid McKinstry out here on the field. And they're just looking to see what Georgia's willing to do here. So they're going to track down anything Georgia's going to try to do. So, like I said, it's interesting that Georgia didn't try to kind of do more of a run up the middle here, at least on this type of play where you see Alabama's a little bit lighter. But what they did was they kind of have Brock Bowers and the tight end and the right guard all pulled to the left. So it's obviously they're about to run to the left, and the Alabama defense is tracking this fairly well. You see everybody is looking it down. Deontay Lawson sees it. Malachi Moore, Kool-Aid, they all are kind of moving that way, and they're kind of diagnosing the play. Deontay Lawson actually does something really well, and I think it's Jihad Campbell also trying to get around the block here. But Deontay Lawson sees the handoff, and he jumps forward and runs straight at the running back before the tight end number 4 can get a chance to even block him. So he diagnoses this fairly well, doesn't even give it a chance to get past him, or like at least for blockers to get on him. And maybe he took a little bit of a risk here, because if he shot this and then the running back was faster than him, then that would have been one less guy over there to set the edge and force the running back inside. And number 2, the running back here could have been able to run up the field here, maybe get a first down and more. But Deontay Lawson is very athletic. He's very fast. He trusts himself. He shoots that gap, dives right at the running back's feet, trips him up, loss of 2 on this play. So a really great athletic individual play by Deontay Lawson, the inside linebacker for Alabama. But the Alabama defense in general did a great job of reading what was coming here. And Deontay Lawson made the play. So even if he didn't, like I said, there could have been potential for the running back to run up the field, but look at who's all following. So you have Jihad Campbell, you have Makai Key, and you have Kool-Aid McKinstry, all also running toward the running back. So at best here, that would have been like a 2-yard gain. So good play by the Alabama defense overall. Let's go on to the next one. This is probably one of my favorite defensive plays from Alabama in the totality of the game here. We're going to have a great play by Malachi Moore. So this is back to the first quarter. So I know we're jumping back and forth, but it was different plays that I was really excited about. 8 minutes and 38 seconds left. Georgia, once again, they went back. This is more like early in the game, but they're running 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end. The tight end is kind of like an H-back position to the right of the right tackle. 1 guy set to the top. Terion Arnold's on. I think that's McConkey up there. And they have 2 wide receivers at the bottom of the screen. The running back set to the left. Alabama, of course, is going to be playing nickel. And they are trying to line up DBs on wide receivers here. So what's good about this play from the Alabama standpoint is that Georgia's trying to do a little bit of a trickery here. They're trying to use some motion. They're trying to trick Alabama. They're trying to do a little bit of play action, and they're going to try to hit the tight end out of the backfield. That tight end that's playing H-back is Brock Bowers, so he's important on this play. So when the ball is snapped, Georgia then has Brock Bowers and the right guard pull to the left as if they're pulling for a running play. So they're trying to trick Alabama to thinking this is a running play. So this is play action, because Carson Beck looks like he's about to hand it off to the running back. He doesn't. He pulls it out, and then he comes up and he throws immediately to Brock Bowers. So obviously this play is intended to be passed to Brock Bowers, a play action to get him on the edge, let him run up the field and get some yards. Malachi Moore had different plans. What's so amazing about this play is Malachi Moore makes this tackle. He takes down Brock Bowers with ease for a nice loss. But look at what happens. Malachi Moore moves forward immediately. So that whole Alabama defense sees this coming. They think, oh, this is a run. So they all step forward. Look at Braswell step up, and he meets the right guard. Malachi Moore also comes up behind Braswell a little bit to his right. He's thinking, okay, run. He immediately sees that something is wrong, because before Carson Beck even finishes this fake, Malachi Moore, look at his head, whips up, and he looks at the wide receiver number 6 trying to block him. So he sees, wait a minute, this is a come down block. So I mean, they're trying to get on the outside of me. Watch Malachi Moore immediately jump to the outside of that attempted block, and he's immediately on top of Brock Bowers to get this play. So Malachi Moore is very smart, amazing instincts, great, smart, like instinctual football player. He sees this play fake coming. He said, wait a minute, something's wrong. Like I said, before the play action is even complete, he's got his head up, seeing that the block is coming his way, jumps off of the block, beats the block, gets to the tight end, wraps him up, and takes him down. And if he doesn't do this, nobody else had diagnosed it fast enough in order to stop Brock Bowers from getting some yards. Because I think Caleb Downs was the next person noticed. So it's great that the two safeties basically, well, one cornerback, nickelback basically, Malachi Moore plays every position. They noticed that this was going on. I think Caleb Downs is the one who would have been responsible for Bowers. But if Malachi Moore hadn't diagnosed this play and saw it coming, it would have been Caleb Downs one-on-one versus Bowers. And it's not to say that Caleb Downs couldn't necessarily tackle him, but they would. I'm pretty sure Georgia would love to take their chances with a small freshman safety trying to take on a really big physical guy like Brock Bowers in an open field. So really good play by Malachi Moore, individual play, because the rest of the Alabama defense played their assignment. Georgia's offense, actually, this play call is actually a really good play call. It's just Alabama had a wild card here. Malachi Moore perfectly diagnosed this play, obviously studies his film, knows the tendencies, saw this play fake coming from a mile away, and made a great tackle. Well done, Malachi Moore. This is my favorite defensive play from Alabama in this game, or at the very least one of them. If I go back and look at even more, maybe something different, but this is amazing. So with that said, let's go on to another play. This is later. This is now into the third quarter, 12 minutes and 24 seconds left. It's a 3rd and 1 for Georgia, and they got some heavy folks on the line of scrimmage. They have 12 personnel here. They're looking to run this ball, right? And they're trying to get Alabama, once again, not up the middle, but once again on a stretch play. So over and over again, in situations where Georgia wanted to kind of get a first down or they wanted to kind of, run the ball in Alabama, they tried to go wide instead of up the middle. And it's just, I really would love to know, what was the Georgia philosophy here? Like, what were they going for? But, so you may notice Georgia has all that beef up front. They send the tight end, number 4, into motion. He goes to the right. Then Carson Beck moves up, and they kind of do like a quick pitch to the running back, number 30, going toward the right. Look at the Alabama defense. You see Kool-Aid McKinstry and Malachi Moore and Terion Arnold, Jihad Campbell. They all are moving to the left. Terion moves forward as soon as that pitch goes out, and look how quickly he reacts. He's up the field, and before number 4, the tight end can get up there to actually get a block on the edge, he's already outside of tight end number 4's leverage. And 4 sees this because 4 is probably going to try to go up and block Kool-Aid McKinstry, but because Terion Arnold responds so well, he prevents the tight end from setting the edge, allowing running back number 30 to get to the outside. And Terion is actually so good on this play, he stops him, he kind of sets that edge and waits, he doesn't overrun it. And by him setting that perfectly, the running back thought, oh, he's going to overrun me. I might still be able to get to the outside because my blocker's coming to help me. No, Terion Arnold goes down to the ground, and because he's on the ground, he's more stable. He's able to stop and react to the running back trying to go around him. And so even if he didn't do that, right, you had Jihad Campbell and Kool-Aid McKinstry, who now were free because the tight end was going to block Kool-Aid. And the running back was going to outrun Jihad Campbell because, he's a linebacker. That's what you take your chances on. You block the fast guys and you let your running back beat the guys who can beat. Or in this case, it could have been Jihad that was blocked, and then the running back could have run over or tried to get through the cornerback. Either way, right, Terion blew this play up. Fantastic defense. Really good. I mean, Terion Arnold played fantastic defense on this play. And great job by the rest of the team to come up and clean it up just in case he didn't finish the play. Well done. Malachi Moore, the champ, is there too. He was sitting there waiting. Malachi Moore, obviously, I mean, I talked a lot about Terion, but look at Malachi Moore responding to this play as well. He comes up from the safety position immediately as well. Both of them have great reaction time here. And Malachi Moore's directed traffic and letting everyone know this is what you do. And he's in the backfield waiting to see where the running back's going to cut back to. So good job overall by the whole defense on this play. All right, we're down to the last play here for Alabama defense against Georgia. In this particular video, Georgia's in third quarters. It's a little bit after that last play. 10 minutes, 36 seconds left. It's 1st and 10. Alabama's up 17-7. Georgia is once again in 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers. Both are wide receivers at the bottom of the field. Brock Bowers is in motion going to the bottom as well. And what Alabama's going to do here, Georgia is trying to take advantage of the assignment football that Alabama plays with their man coverage, and they beat it here, but Alabama is not quite to the same extent that Hugh Freeze and Auburn did. Because if you watch my 30-minute video on that the Auburn offensive scheme against Alabama, they did some similar type things, trying to take advantage of Alabama's pattern match concepts in the ways that they adjust and switch over to different people. This is the one play in this particular video where Georgia actually was able to take advantage of Alabama defense here and do something really well to open up this third quarter. So what they do basically is put somebody in motion, and they have three people on the same side of the field. It's not even stacks formation, right? But they're gonna run Brock Bowers behind the two wide receivers on the bottom of the screen here to make like a trips formation, similar to the things that Auburn did in the Iron Bowl against Alabama, where they tried to take advantage of the pattern match zone defense by confusing which player that the defender is supposed to carry with them and switch over into their man defense when they run into their zone. And Georgia did something similar, and it worked once again. Like I said, it's hard to maintain this discipline the whole time. They have good protection, but what they do is they have the wide receiver number 11, who's kind of in a slot-like position or closer to the line, to the offensive line. He's going to run like a fade go route here from that position. He's going to run up the field. And you still notice you got Kool-Aid McKinstry on the outside. Malachi Moore runs up, plays the middle. And you got Jahai Campbell, linebackers, playing inside leverage closer to the middle of the field. You're going to have the wide receiver on the far side, Everett, run basically like a small hitch route in the flat. And then you're going to have Aaliyah Smith run that go fade route up the field. And you're going to have Brock Bowers run right behind him, running like a deep crossing route. I think what's supposed to happen on this play is that Kool-Aid McKinstry is supposed to carry up the field and cover the wide receiver, number 11. Jahai Campbell is supposed to follow up the field and cover Brock Bowers. And then you have Malachi Moore, who did what he was supposed to do actually and played a short route, which was Chris Evers' hitch. But if you notice, what happened on the play is that Jahai Campbell decides to stay upfield and run toward Everett, even though Malachi Moore is still there. And I think he realizes his mistake pretty fast. And as the ball's going over here, you also see Kool-Aid McKinstry, for some reason, is covering Brock Bowers. And so that leaves number 11, the wide receiver who ran the go fade route, down the field by himself with the safety trying to get over there to cover the play. And so I think what I'm going to try to guess see what happened is that I think Kool-Aid saw that Brock Bowers was coming free, because Jahai Campbell didn't play his guy. And I'm assuming he just dropped off and played that so it wouldn't be an easy completion. But you probably want to give up the shorter route rather than the deep route here. Because maybe he thought his safety would cover up for the deficiency, but the play was too well designed. The wide receiver and Carson Beck made a good play, and the safety wouldn't be able to get over there. So Alabama basically misplayed this play. Either Kool-Aid or Jahai Campbell played the wrong guy, and I doubt that Jahai was supposed to carry that wide receiver up the field. But like I said, Georgia knows Alabama's offensive tendencies as well. They did some stuff that similar to what Auburn does. They know that the Alabama defenders have to make a choice here, because it would make sense. It would make sense based on the pattern match zone concept, is that when a guy enters your zone, you play man on them following up the field. Well, they ran two guys inside of Jahai Campbell's zone. So he either thinks, I need to take that wide receiver, which he doesn't do, or I take Brock Bowers, which unfortunately he also doesn't do, but he has to make that choice. So theoretically, he could have tried to take the wide receiver, and Kool-Aid McKinstry would then take Brock Bowers. But then now you have linebacker number 30, Jahai Campbell, trying to follow a wide receiver up the field. So in this situation, they should have passed off. Jahai Campbell should have let the guy run through his zone. Then he sees Brock Bowers, and he should have covered Brock Bowers running into his and switching over to his pattern match zone. And Kool-Aid is supposed to follow wide receiver number 11 up the field. So I think Georgia took advantage of how the Alabama defense works, and they caused a misplay by the defense. And honestly, that's really good offense by Georgia, and also just an example of the high level expectation and defense that the Alabama defenders are expected to play, what they're expected to do, and the fact that they executed fairly well most of the time is really cool. To play on the Alabama defense is really hard, and as you saw from the first 5 plays I showed you, they do a great job of executing it. Sometimes some teams just draw up the right play to know how to affect it. So really good game overall by the Alabama defense. It's a good battle back and forth. I could break down this type of stuff all day because it's a lot of fun. Let me know what you think. Did you enjoy this game as much? Did you see all these little details? But thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.